Yesterday was the night of Charlie Squash's disappearance. I'm not quite sure, but I think he was murdered. I have some suspects, but still, I'm not quite sure. The first suspect I'm going to interview is our teacher, Mr. Anderson. Where were you the night of Charlie's disappearance?
I was at school grading papers.
Describe your relationship with Charlie.
Charlie was my student. He didn't raise his hand a lot, but when he did, he gave a pretty good answer. He came to class almost every day. He was rarely sick.
Almost?
Well, except in July, he was out for an entire week. When he came back, he seemed a little different.
How?
I can't put my finger on it, but his sister did stop picking him up from school.
What is your relationship with Charlie's mom, Eliza Beth?
Next question.
Okay, I have all the information I need to know. Thank you. Okay, so we have some more information. So after Mr. Anderson's interview, I've come up with a couple questions that I'm going to add to the suspect list, portfolio thing. So, Mr. Anderson said he was at school when Charlie disappeared. But, he disappeared at night. So, could he be at school at night? Next, question I had was that Charlie has a sister? And what is with Mr. Anderson and Charlie's mom? Are they having a secret affair? And what happened that week in July? I'm gonna figure it all out. The next person I'm going to interview after Mr. Anderson is going to be Charlie's mom, Eliza Beth. Where were you the night of Charlie's disappearance?
I was at home cooking dinner and washing the dishes.
Describe your relationship with Charlie.
I'm his mother. He adores me and worships the ground I walk on.
Doesn't that sound a bit abnormal?
Not at all. I'm his mother.
What is your relationship with Charlie's friend, Jordan Unis?
She's an acquaintance. We get along just fine, although she does do stuff that annoys me sometimes.
Like what?
She talks non-stop and interrupts me all the time.
Okay, I have all the information I need to know. Thank you. So, after Eliza's interview, I had a couple questions. Not as much as Mr. Anderson, but a couple questions. My first one is that, did it seem like Charlie and his mom had a controlling relationship? And my next question is, why doesn't Eliza like Jordan? I mean, I know she said because she talks a lot and interrupts, but I guess we'll figure that out with our next interview with her. After that interview with Charlie's mom, Eliza Beth, I'm going to interview Charlie's friend, Jordan Unis, to see if she's all like Eliza said she was. Where were you the night of Charlie's disappearance?
Well, actually, I was just about to go home and play my new Mario Kart game with my little brother. He really loves dinosaurs.
Oh, okay, Jordan, can we stay back on track?
Oh, okay.
So, you were at home, correct?
Yeah, I was at home. And I was about to play my new Mario Kart game
Okay,
with my little brother
okay.
who loves dinosaurs.
Okay, what's your relationship with Charlie?
Oh, well, me and Charlie are best friends. It all started in kindergarten when there was this really mean teacher who would always call on me and Charlie even though we never rose our hand.
What was the teacher's name?
Oh, her name was Miss Amy. Yeah.
Was her first name Beth?
Yeah. Her first name was Beth. I don't really know why anybody would name their child Beth. Oh, speaking of that, since she was my neighbor, me and Charlie would always go to her house because she had another kid, and we would play with them. Their name was, I forgot. But anyways, we used to always play.
Wait. Was that kid's name Charlotte?
I think so. See, it was such a long time ago. So long. I can't even remember. But all I know was that we used to always play rock, paper, scissors. And I would always win because I'm the best at rock, paper, scissors. I should join a tournament, if you know what I mean.
Can we stay on track?
Me and Charlie are like best friends.
What's your relationship with Beth or Miss Amy?
Well, I mean, I'm not really sure. I don't really talk to her as much as I would because, I mean, she's an adult, but I do know that she was always grouchy, like all the time. Like, even to me, her neighbor, and even to my mom's cousin's sister, since they were, friends. And that reminds me, my mom's cousin's sister.
Okay. I think we have all that we need right now. Jordan?
And I think that's so ironic. Because how
Jordan.
are you friends with Beth? And then you also...
I'm just going to stop this interview.
So after Jordan's interview, I realized that Eliza was not wrong. Jordan is really talkative and kind of an oversharer. But here's some questions that I thought of when I was doing my interview with Jordan. First question. Beth used to be a teacher? Second question. Or, not really question, but I didn't know that Charlotte was Beth's daughter. I didn't even know Beth had a daughter. And the third question. How did Jordan not know her own relationship with her own teacher? Or used to be her own teacher, but still. I'm going to add that into my portfolio for my suspect portfolio. Next person I'm going to interview is Beth Amy. Where were you the night of Charlie's disappearance?
I don't even remember he disappeared.
Okay. What's your relationship with Charlie?
He is my neighbor.
Okay. What is your relationship with your daughter, Charlotte?
He is my daughter.
Does she do stuff that makes you mad?
No.
Okay. Thank you. That's all we need from you today. Thank you.
Well, I really enjoy this.
After my interview with Beth Amy, I spurred up a couple questions. My first question is, how did Beth not know Charlie was missing when there's literally a missing poster? It looks like this. And my second question was, why are her answers so short? I'm going to add them to the suspect portfolio now. next person I'm going to interview is Beth's alleged daughter, Charlotte McAdams. Where were you the night of Charlie's disappearance?
At the night of Charlie's disappearance, I was at home eating dinner. My mom turned on the TV to watch the news, and that's when I found out that Charlie has gone missing.
What was your relationship with Charlie?
Charlie was never nice to me. He always bullied me because I had good grades and I was in a lot of geeky clubs, and he didn't like that. So he used to make my life miserable. When I got my first boyfriend, he made sure that he broke up with me, and I felt really sad when he did that. And he did so much more things to me. He even threatened to kill me.
What was your relationship with your teacher, Mr. Anderson?
My relationship with Mr. Anderson has always been great. I have an 100 in his class, and he always makes sure to give me extra credit because I cannot accept anything lower than a 95 in his class. He knows I do my best, and that's why Charlie didn't like me, because Mr. Anderson just liked me more than him.
Okay, I think I have all the information I need. Thank you.
Okay, after that interview with Charlotte McAdams, I'm not even sure I want to do the suspect portfolio anymore. I need to figure out what happened to Charlie. Why did he threaten to kill Charlotte? Why did he break up Charlotte and her boyfriend? Why did he do all that stuff to Charlotte? I have to find out. So I'm going to give Mr. Anderson a second interview.
So in the first interview, when I asked where were you at the night of Charlie's disappearance, you said you were grading papers at school. But why were you at school at night? Because Charlie disappeared at night.
Because I'm not able to get all my grading done during the day because I have classes all day. And it's a big week because we had exams coming up. And so the students had extra homework.
But can't you just grade at your house?
It's easier for me just to grade at school before I go home.
Okay. Did Charlie take summer school?
He did one summer to make up for the time he missed. After he missed that week, his grades really dropped.
But you said that he missed that 1 week in July, and July is summer break.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. I think I remember that wrong.
Okay. And what was your relationship with Charlotte McAdams?
She was my student. She was a good student. I liked her a lot. She always got good grades and turned in her work on time.
Okay. Thank you.
So I created a spreadsheet for all of the suspects. Put suspect name, the 3 lead suspects, where they were, their motive, and possible red herrings. And the other information that I have for Brandon is that he lied that Charlie, he lied that Charlie was absent in July. That's all that we know. That's the other info that we know from him. And now I'm gonna go on and interview Elizabeth.
What is your relationship with Charlie's teacher, Brandon Anderson?
No comment.
So you kind of have to provide comments because that's how this interview works. So,
Okay, well, we did go out on a few dates, but it was really not a big deal.
okay. What happened the week Charlie was absent in July, or whenever he was absent for a whole week?
Just at business as usual. I would take him to school, drop him off, pick him up. Everything was fine, it seemed.
Okay. And does Charlie have a sister?
No.
Because Brandon Anderson said that Charlie had a sister and his sister would pick him up from school.
He must be referring to me because, I look younger than I am.
So I love your confidence, but just tell me the truth. Does Charlie have a sister?
Fine, yes, he does.
Where is she?
She lives with her dad.
Okay. Does she pick him up from school?
Sometimes.
Okay. And what happened to her? Brandon said that after that week in July, or like whenever it was, that she stopped picking him up. Do you know what happened?
She and Charlie had a fight, and she said that she was no longer going to be picking him up.
Okay. Do you know what the fight was about?
Yes.
What was it about?
She had found out about me and Charlie's teacher, and she was very upset about it, and the fact that Charlie knew about it and didn't tell her.
So Charlie knew about the affair all along?
Yes, he did. He found out, yes.
Okay. I think that's all I need to know. Thank you. So, after that interview with Elizabeth, I think it's time to update my spreadsheet. So, in the other info in the Elizabeth section, I'm going to put that she is very secretive, yes, about her life. Because she lied about Charlie having a sister, she lied about Brandon Anderson, she lied about all that. So, yeah. So, the next person I'm going to do my second interview for is Jordan Unis. So, have you noticed Charlie and his mom having a controlling relationship?
Not really. But there was this one time when I went to his house and I asked for food and she started screaming at me, saying I couldn't even touch the fridge, which was weird because I was her guest and I was starving. Oh, by the way, do you have any food with you?
We're calling. I don't know how I can send you food through the phone.
I guess. Just asking.
Was there any other thing that happened, maybe more intense than the food?
Wow. I went to his house not too long ago, and we were going to play a video game. I was getting the console ready and everything, and then her mom just started lashing out on us, telling me I could never go to her house ever again, and that it's not safe at her house, and this, that, and the third. And Charlie looked like he agreed, but at the same time, he looked like he was scared. Then he also started yelling at her. Am I saying too much?
No, go on.
So then she started telling me I should leave immediately, that it was too dangerous here and something was going to happen, so I decided to leave. But since I'm a nosy person, I went to the door. I don't know what was happening to Charlie, but he was screaming, throwing stuff. It just looked like he was going crazy. And then I heard his mom yell, I'm not going to take you anywhere anymore. Then his mom was just yelling things, and I got one part of it. I didn't hear much, but I got what she was saying. She said that Charlie was a bad child and that he should be locked away. Charlie just kept on screaming and throwing things at her, which was surprising because Charlie's never acted like that. But I guess it was just a day. Maybe they were just having a bad day. I mean, it was rainy, so I'm pretty sure that made them gloomy. Because whenever it rains for me, I get really annoyed and sad.
Wait, the last time it rained was May 1st. Was that the day you went over to his house?
Yeah, that's correct.
So, 2 days before he went missing.
That's correct. But that can't be true because I remember seeing Charlie the next day. I was walking past his house and he looked perfectly fine. He was sitting outside. I asked him what was wrong. He didn't give me an answer, so I suspected he was too tired. But something weird did happen. His mom was in the window staring at me. So I just kept on walking. Then Charlie said something. I didn't hear what he was saying, almost like he was trying to communicate something with me, trying to scream. I just suspected he was talking to himself like he always does, but there must have been something more. Then when I came back from school, the same thing happened, except Charlie wasn't there. His mom was still in the window, but Charlie was not there.
So, he wasn't there May 3rd.
No.
Did you see him after school?
No.
Before school?
I think so. In the window, I saw his mom talking to somebody, and I suspected that it was Charlie because she doesn't have any friends. Which reminds me, Charlie was pretty much alone for most of his life until middle school. But anyways, she was talking to someone. I did not know who, and I really didn't care. So I just suspected it was Charlie. But then I heard a voice. It was like a high-pitched voice. It wasn't his mother, and it was not Charlie. But I just suspected Charlie had a cold or something.
And you didn't see him during school?
No.
So, you heard him before school, you didn't see him during school, and he went missing after school.
That's what I said.
Do you usually hang out with Charlie after school?
Yeah, all the time. We always go to his house or go to mine and just binge watch a bunch of shows. And sometimes we play video games as well. And I was really excited to play a video game with him. But when I went over to his house, he wasn't there. I rang the doorbell. No one was there. Not even his mother, who's always there. She doesn't really have a social life, if you know what I mean. But neither him or his mother was there. So I knew something was wrong, but by the time I got home and distracted myself with video games, I forgot.
So, and then when you got home, you found the Mario Kart game package on your doorstep, you brought it inside, and you played with your little brother, and then the next morning, did you see missing posters of Charlie when you were walking to school?
Yes. But the thing is, I knew he couldn't have been missing because Charlie's never been anywhere outside of this small little town. But then I realized if Charlie's mom wasn't there, and Charlie wasn't there the day I came home from school, that means something happened to the both of them. When I realized that him and his mom wasn't there the day I came home from school, I knew something was wrong. Because Mrs. Beth doesn't go anywhere. Like, anywhere. She's a couch potato. So then I saw her. And I knew something had happened to Charlie, but something that she didn't want to share. Because when I went up to her, I asked her, "Where's Charlie?" She just stared at me with a blank face and said, "I don't know." So when I went back home, I told my mom everything. I ripped down one of the missing posters from a tree right next to my house and explained to her the whole story, and my mom was confused, just like how I was. I'm telling you, if Charlie is gone, his mother did something, and she's not going to share.
So, after that interview with Jordan, it was a little interesting. So, in my spreadsheet of other info in the Jordan section, I'm going to put she thinks Eliza did it. And I'm gonna change my lead suspects. Gonna remove her. I'm gonna copy, paste, delete. I'm gonna copy, paste, delete. And I'm gonna change this to Eliza Beth. Oops, forgot to make that capitalized. Okay. Now the next person that I'm gonna interview is Beth Amy, our second lead suspect.
Did you used to be a teacher?
Yes,
What is your relationship with your neighbor, Jordan Unis?
I don't like her.
Okay. Why are your answers so small?
I don't know.
Okay. How did you not know Charlie disappeared?
I lied
Why did you lie?
because I was so sad.
Okay. Was Charlie your friend? Was Charlie nice to you?
Yeah,
Okay. Where were you when he disappeared?
the park.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, after Beth's interview, we figured out some more information. So, in the other info in Beth's column, I'm gonna write down, she was sad about Charlie's disappearance, yet he wasn't nice to her. And we learned where she was. She was at the park. And we have a motive. He was not nice to her. And the possible red herring, we still don't know yet. Maybe like the same as like what was happening with Charlotte, since she didn't mention it, except at the park instead of at Holmes. At the park, doing nothing. And I think we could keep her as the second lead suspect because she was outside, you could see, during his murder. So yep. And the next person I'm going to interview is Charlotte McAdams, and that's going to be my last second interview. Is Beth Amy your mom?
Yes, she is.
Okay. When did you get a boyfriend?
Well, it happened May 7th, 2020. We got together over Zoom, but he spread rumors about me, and he told him that I'd pick my nose and eat my boogers, and then he thought I was gross, so he broke up with me, and that made me really sad.
Okay. And, did you see Charlie or Jordan over the summer?
I've seen Jordan, but I haven't really seen Charlie. I don't really talk to Charlie that much. I try to stay away from him so I can stay away from his cruel insults and his rude remarks.
Okay. And was Charlie ever absent from school?
Charlie was absent for like 1 or 2 weeks. Those were the most peaceful 1 and 2 weeks I've ever gone through in my life. Like, I mean, a school day with no bullying? I don't know where he is, but I need him to stay gone.
What weeks was he absent? I mean, like, what month? What month was he absent?
He was absent between late April and early May, to be honest.
Okay, interesting. And why did Charlie threaten to kill you?
Charlie threatened to kill me because he said that he didn't need weirdos in the world like me. I'm not a weirdo, I'm just a smart girl. I don't understand why he's so mean to me.
Okay, thank you. I think I have all the information I need. Thank you. So, after that interview with Charlotte, I figured out that she is glad Charlie died. Because she said that she wants him to stay dead. And that's kind of like suspicious. So I'm thinking that we can get rid of Brandon Ayers. I mean, he's kind of suspicious, but all of these people are suspicious. So I'll just like add on to it. I'll say like, or Charlotte, because I feel like she would be a third. Like a third lead suspect. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like, yeah. And now I'm gonna do, some, like, deep diving off camera. And, yeah, I think I will record a final video diary of who I think it is in a couple days. So, yep, I'm so excited. So, I've been trying and trying for days and nights, and I still can't figure it out. I can't figure out if it's Reliza or Jarlet or Bethton or whatever their names are. I don't think he's been murdered, but I don't think he's coming back. I think he committed suicide. And I'm just going to say he committed suicide so I can finally get some sleep at night. And so I can almost guarantee that I'm not next. I think Charlie Squash committed suicide. Now that I'm done, I guess I should take these down. I'm done. I gotta pick up this mess. I failed. Huh? Huh. Dear Tyler Prince, I saw that you posted your last video diary online. I have some more information that proves Charlie did not commit suicide. I knew Charlie really well. He was never suicidal. I have the evidence that I couldn't share before. I've listed a link below. It's an audio file. It's an audio recording of Charlie and Eliza's fight. The recording is unlisted, so only people with the link can access it. Please don't share it. I don't want to die. J.U. J.U.? Who's J? Jordan Unis. I've got to check this link out. https://Charlie. Oh, I should probably capitalize Charlie. Charlie dot Eliza dot fight.com. Enter.
Charlie, I told you not to invite Jordan over ever again. She's a criminal.
But she's my friend.
You know what happened to her and her other friends.
What?
Shelby went missing. And John got his drink spiked at a party and died.
You don't know it was Jordan who did those things?
Jordan was friends with both of them.
Fine. She can stop coming over, but I'm still gonna keep hanging out with her at school.
If you want to die.
Harvard, boring. From Eliza. From Brandon. From the school. I'll read that last. Letters from Eliza and Brandon. Dear Tyler Prince, be aware of Jordan. She is a murderer. She killed my son. The reason I didn't want her to touching my fridge. The reason I didn't want her touching my fridge is because I didn't want her poisoning my food. To put poison in my food. The reason I told Charlie something Wait. The reason I told Charlie something was, oh, our home was not safe, was because I saw her put something in her bag that day. The reason I stare at her through the window is because I'm scared of what she might do to my family. I guess I wasn't watching close enough. You need to stay away from her, or else you're going to be next. Please listen to me, Tyler. For Charlie. Elizabeth. What? So that means, is it Eliza or is it Jordan? What? I should get that. What? I need to do a video diary on this. Okay. So I know that I said that Charlie committed suicide and that I was done with these video diaries, but I just found out some more information. Eliza sent me a letter saying that it was Jordan. But that's not why I started doing the video diaries. I got a knock on the door from Beth Amy just now. And she told me that she found Charlotte's journal from 2020. And I decided to read this on here. So Charlotte, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. It's kind of my fault, but it's kind of your mom's fault. Sorry, but I'm going to read this. September 16th, 2019. Happy birthday to me. And guess what? I got the perfect gift. I met my, maybe, hope so, future best friend. His name is Charlie Squash. I was sitting alone at lunch. Then he came up to me. Turns out we have a lot of the same interests. Five Nights at Freddy's, murder drones, and Sanrio. We connected immediately. There was one thing, though. He was failing horribly. I told him he should get better, but he just laughed and called me a nerd. But he was joking. Or at least I hope so. Charlotte. So, after I read the first diary entry, I figured out that Charlotte and Charlie were friends before they were ever enemies. I wonder what happened. Let's continue reading. October 2nd, 2019. I love my math teacher, Mr. Anderson. He knows I do my best in his class, and he never gives me anything lower than a 95 in his class. On our first math test, I got an 100, but Charlie got a 50. Mr. Anderson knows we're friends, so he assigned me my first homework assignment, tutor Charlie. I obviously accepted. He needs it. Charlotte. So after that second diary entry, we figured out that Charlotte tutored Charlie. Let's read on. April 2nd, 2020. I'm so happy. I got my first ever boyfriend. His name is Eric Brickinson. He's so kind, smart, and super hot. Charlie keeps telling me how I'm too ugly for him, as a joke. It's so funny. Me and Charlie have gotten so much closer. He is my best friend now. I tell him everything. He knew about my crush on Eric and told me to confess. I thought he would say no at first, but I really needed to get it off my chest. So I told Eric, and he said yes. I never thought he would like a nerd like me, but he did. Thanks to my biggest supporter, Charlie. Turns out, he was joking about my nerdiness after all. Charlotte. Well, now we know who Charlotte's boyfriend was, Eric Brickinson. I think I've seen him around school before. I think he's in my history class. But let's read more, so we can figure out how Charlie and Charlotte stopped being friends. April 4th, 2020. I am so angry. I got a 94% on my English test. I thought I was good at English, but Charlie said it's not my fault. It's Miss McCracken's fault. And since I don't want to cry tonight, I'm going to say it's her fault, even though that's not entirely true. Charlotte. So, now we know that, Charlotte is bad at English, but that doesn't really explain what happened to her and Charlie, so I'm just going to read on. May 7th, 2020. Ugh, Charlie is a I thought he was my friend. He was fake. I hate him so much. So, this is what happened. I was walking in the hallway holding hands with Eric, and then Charlie pulled him to the side and whispered something in his ear. He whispered that I was a crazy psychomaniac who killed my other boyfriend when he broke up with me. I never had another boyfriend. Later on in lunch, he broke up with me. Of course. I hate him so much. Turns out, Charlie was never joking. Charlotte. Well, now we know that Charlotte is really, tough and can say cuss words. I never thought she had it in her. And now we know why she and Charlie stopped becoming friends. And, she told me that they broke up on Zoom and that he said he ate boogers. Maybe it was just too embarrassing for her to admit the truth. Let's read the next diary entry. I think there's only, a couple more. May 29th, 2020. I am officially scared of Charlie. Today in math class, we were playing Kahoot, and I got first place, and Charlie got 26th place, or also known as last place. Charlie was furious with me, and after math class, he said, "We don't need any more nerds in this world. You know what happened to Archimedes? He got murdered. So keep acting like a smartass, and you'll be next." Charlotte. So, that was just where Charlie threatened to kill her. I mean, I'm surprised that Charlie was smart enough to know about Archimedes. Let's read on. I think there's, one more. June 11th, 2020. I'm going to kill Charlie. Today he was hanging out with my ex, Eric, and they spilled their school lunch on me. Personally, I hate the school lunch, and they know that. So I'm going to kill Charlie, and maybe Eric too. Charlotte. Looks like she was also going to kill Charlie. She threatened to kill Charlie, but in her diary, not to her face like Charlie did with her. So either she did kill Charlie because of that, or she doesn't feel that way anymore because that was 4 years ago. We'll never know. But now that I'm done with the diary, wait. I just found something else. Hey, they look like flashcards. What's that? Is that blood? Oh my god. Now this is what I call evidence. I'll see you guys in the next video diary. So, I got that letter from Eliza, and I also got another letter from Brandon. I'm going to open it and read it for you all. It says, Dear Tyler Prince, stop investigating. You've done enough. Your grades are starting to drop, and Jordan's too, since you've roped her into this. Please stop. You've done enough already. Charlie committed suicide, and that's the end of the story. Nothing else. Charlie did not get murdered. If you don't stop investigating, don't think I won't hold you back another year. Stop this at once. Brandon Anderson. You guys heard that too, right? I think Brandon Anderson killed Charlie. I'm gonna call the police right now. Where were you the night of Charlie's disappearance?
Charlie's house.
Why did you kill Charlie?
I heard that he threatened to kill Charlotte 4 years ago. I was waiting until Liza was super trusting of me to kill him.
When did the affair with you and Eliza start?
5 years ago, in 2019.
Why did you lie that Charlie was absent in July?
I lied because I tried to kill Charlie last year, but his sister caught me putting poison in his drink. I begged her not to tell the police, and she said okay if I fired Gucci and Louis Vuitton. I obviously agreed.
Why did you try to poison Charlie before, and now you kidnapped him, then murdered him?
So no one could catch me.
So you plead guilty to your crimes?
Yes.
Good news. Brandon Anderson is officially locked up behind bars. Turns out, there was a huge misunderstanding between Jordan Unes and Eliza Beth. And that Beth Amy was just an old person who couldn't really speak much, so that's why her answers were so minimal. And thus, blood on Charlotte's flashcards was just marker or paint, she told me. I was just being paranoid. But we can finally celebrate that the murderer is no longer in our town. Thank you for watching Charlie's Disappearance. See you next time. Bye.